Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing lately, SNL UK. Now, personally, I think this is a fascinating experiment, taking a quintessentially American format and transplanting it to British soil. But here's the thing, does it work? And more importantly, does it feel British? That's the million-dollar question. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. British sketch comedy is a rare breed. I mean, it's so rare that it's been labeled at risk in recent years. So, when SNL UK came along, you'd think Brits would have been cheering in the streets, right? Wrong. The cynicism was palpable. And honestly, I get it. The promos felt like an American tourist's idea of British humor: Mary Poppins, baked beans on toast, and a London bus stop. It screamed, "We're trying too hard," and that's never a good look. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the rocky start, the show actually has some solid moments. The sketches are darker, more surreal, and deadpan, very British. Take George Foraker's David Attenborough impression, for example. It was sharp, witty, and perfectly British. Or Jack Shep's Diana impression. Even if the sketch itself didn't land, his performance was so compelling that you couldn't look away. What makes this really interesting is that SNL UK is trying to strike a balance between honoring the American format and letting British humor shine. And in those moments, it works. However, and this is a big however, the show still feels too American in places. The set, the pacing, the 75-minute runtime, it's all very SNL, but not very British. I mean, Brits love their comedy short and sweet, usually under an hour. So, when you're stretching it to 75 minutes, you're already losing some of the audience. And don't even get me started on Tina Fey's presence. Don't get me wrong, she's a legend, but she dominated the first episode, leaving less room for the British cast to shine. If you take a step back and think about it, the show seems to be caught between two identities. Is it a British comedy or an American export? That's the tension here. One thing that immediately stands out is the monologue. The whole shock about British TV allowing swear words like shitbird and bollocks felt like a missed opportunity. It's not revolutionary, it's just British TV being British TV. What many people don't realize is that this kind of humor is par for the course in the UK. It's not a gimmick, it's just how we roll. So, when Michael Cera shows up just to say those words, it feels like the show is leaning into stereotypes rather than embracing authenticity. This raises a deeper question: who is SNL UK for? Is it for Brits who've never watched the American version? Is it for fans of the US show who want a British twist? Or is it just a marketing stunt? Personally, I think the show has potential, but it needs to lean harder into its Britishness. The surreal, the absurd, the deadpan, that's where it thrives. Imagine more sketches like Cilla Black impressions or Shakespeare on a stolen lime bike. That's the kind of British humor that could set it apart. What this really suggests is that SNL UK is at a crossroads. It can either try to replicate the American formula and risk feeling like a pale imitation, or it can embrace its British identity and carve out something unique. From my perspective, the latter is the way to go. Live comedy and music are sorely missing from British TV right now, and SNL UK could fill that gap, if it dares to be bold. So, here's my closing thought: SNL UK isn't perfect, but it's a start. It's got the talent, it's got the potential, and it's got the British humor. Now, it just needs to figure out what it wants to be. Is it a British show with American roots, or an American show trying to be British? The answer to that question will determine whether it's a hit or a miss. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.